Hi there, I'm Andrew. Welcome to Adventure Rider for part 2 in our Everyday Adventure series. The idea behind today's challenge is to reduce this format to its most concise form possible by taking an everyday boring journey and transforming it into something, well, adventurous. For today's route, we would be going to see my parents on the Isle of Wight, a long overdue visit, and traditionally that would be a fairly dull car journey all the way down the A3 from southwest London and then on to the world's most expensive ferry crossing. But instead, we're going to be riding the bikes, a short trip outside London. We're meeting up here in Surrey, and from here we have about 100 miles of the Trans-Euro Trail all the way pretty much down to Portsmouth. And then the ferry itself is about a fifth of the price. So it sounds like a bit of a win-win. So how do we get from where we started with the journey to what we're doing today? We'll hop on the bikes and we'll explain as we go.
So how do you do it? Well, step one, obviously, is to think of a journey or a route that you already had planned, or you can just create one out of nothing. So think of a destination, an area you want to explore. And one great option is to head over to the Kalamoto website or download the app. And there's a free version which is surprisingly useful. And with that, you can simply plug in where you want to go or an area, and it will come up with a really exciting route for you. And even if you're very familiar with the surrounding roads near where you live, you'd be surprised just how good this app is at suggesting great mini adventures for you. If you've got something like a Garmin Zumo XT2, which clearly is not free, then it also has similar functionality in it, so you can type in a destination and you can use a slider system to choose basically how adventurous you want the route to be, and you can preview all this and again share the GPX files with friends if you want, and you can see that before you even sort of step foot out the door, which I find very useful as well. Or there are third options, which is how we actually ended up riding today, such as studying a GPX file such as the Trans-Euro Trail, which we realised had a route pretty much from Surrey all the way down to where we wanted to go in Portsmouth, and we're able to head over to the site, export that file, put it into GPX Studio, which is a free GPX editor software, get rid of all the rest of the route through England that we didn't need, and then end up with something that we did want. And you can then simply export that GPX file into free track following software such as Osmand, which does a really good job of just helping you navigate off-road and unpaved surfaces following GPX tracks. Or if you want to do it a slightly more fancy way and you've got the Garmin, you can import it as a track and convert that into a route, which gives you turn-by-turn navigational instructions, which is actually incredibly useful for when you're off-road riding. It just sort of takes quite a lot of the stress out of navigating altogether. So fusing all those things together, it should be possible to come up with something easily that's fun, for free, but it's out there for everyone to do. So the setups today have T7s, great bikes. We have virtually identical machines. In fact, James and I would normally stop for a horse, but the horse stopped for us. So James is the Surrey South London TRF chairman in all his power and glory, and he knows the start of this journey like the back of his hand because he has ridden these roads many times. But I think once we get a little bit further afield, he doesn't know the route, I don't know it at all, and I've got relatively little experience riding this T7 off-road. So that for me, that's always part of the fun, I think, with an adventure, is keeping an element of the unknown. You alright, Skipper?
It seems to blow my mind where these big bikes will go. It's mad.
I know, I was just thinking it. I mean, we're just, we're just abusing them already, but they love it.
Yeah, I never would have believed it like 2 or 3 years ago.
Nicely advertising the trail that we're on as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
So we're not particularly far into our route, we've stopped for a comfort break, but it's one of those moments where you just got to take stock of some of the incredible stuff that we've already been doing. So this is why, if you turn to some of these resources available, you can just have so much fun just beside some of the routes that you were just having typical boring journeys on previously to that. This is what happens when you go out of the office for 5 minutes. Can't complain too much.
does beat the A3, doesn't it? Oh, well, that was a fun morning. Right, take two, because some idiot forgot to actually press record on the phone. Where is Tim when you need him? So the concept of today was to just do something different to, you know, some sort of boring journey. And I mean, this is amazing. It takes you through these beautiful parts of England, the TET, you know it well. And yeah, we've had some really fun lanes already, and we're about to head towards Devil's Punch Bowl.
Yep.
So we're obviously on the Yamahas today, bigger bikes, but perfectly capable.
Yeah, absolutely. In these slightly drier conditions anyway. Mind you, even if they were wet, there are people with the skills to get them through there. Yeah, it's been...
Yeah. I mean, we were saying, like, any limitations you get to, it's definitely not the bike, it's you. And just in time, here's the food. Thanks so much. Fed and watered, refueled. James is putting his earplugs on so he doesn't have to listen to my rambling. He's got a little memento. Hey, Willie.
Rudimentary maths online suggests that the average rate of progression along the TET once moving is between 20 and 25 miles per hour, but that can vary enormously depending on, you know, which sections you're on, what they're like, how technical they are, whether you've got a tree in the way, which was something James and I on our first ride together had an awful lot of arboriculture, trying to move trees out the way that had fallen. It's a little bit later in the season today, so hopefully things have dried out somewhat on the trails, and we've allowed ourselves a bit of wiggle room for fanning about, and I've pretty much eaten into that entirely already, because my Garmin didn't seem to want to display the route or the track. After a bit of trial and error, it seems to now be working. This is the thing with the technology, isn't it? You sort of rely on it. Ordinarily I've just cracked on. But the point of the video is following the Garmin, so kind of need that thing to be working for you guys. So here we go. As you see, the Garmin is saying turn off, which is what we're doing, and this is not a normal road.
Wow, I came here before on the Cove rally bike, and this was completely underwater. Yeah, it was completely underwater when I was here before.
Me too. I was expecting us to not be able to go.
Yeah, amazing how quickly it changes.
It's crazy.
Places you can come and sample some sand. Oh, there he goes. It's definitely one of those moments where it feels illegal what you're doing, even though it's not. A bit like storming past a policeman on the autobahn in Germany doing 120 miles an hour. Just couldn't get my head around it.
Sand raiders.
Yeah.
I'm so shit in deep sand.
Sand pit raiders. That's probably why my ones don't go that way. Oh, it's not an adventure unless someone gets stuck in the mud.
Okay, I should probably go and help and stop filming.
I feel like a proper bellend. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now the front. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3.
Cheers, take care. So for those that don't know about the TET, the Trans-Euro Trail, it is the greatest gift we have as adventure riders, and we should be extremely thankful for it. It's a network of over 100,000 kilometres of trails and roads throughout Europe, which is a free and non-for-profit organisation. You simply head over to the site, you put in the country that you want to visit, and you can download the entire GPX file in one hit. And this has been devised, according to their website, primarily for smaller capacity light adventure bikes, single cylinder things mainly. So some of the trails, as I'm sure we'll experience today, will be a little bit sort of small and narrow and technical, but that's part of the fun. And a Yamaha T7, although it's a relatively heavy bike, is certainly capable of a lot more than myself and James are.
Hello. How you doing? Yeah, he's just 2 seconds behind. In 8. Nice one, we made it in time as well, buddy. Lovely little dash at the end. So we have made it to the ferry terminal, just about in time. We had to hot foot it for the last bit, so we maybe missed like a tiny section. I think we were pretty much there. But yeah, a little bit too much faffing with Garmin's, getting stuck in the mud, and having a very leisurely lunch, I think. Yeah. So we're doing what all grown men do when we get a chance. We're away from prying eyes and secretly enjoying an ice cream. Beautiful shot, ruined by Nazda van. Hello. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
What do you need, a shower first?
Mum, you're on YouTube, you're the star of the show.
And what's an adventure without a final twist of adversity to overcome? Having collected a large nail in my front tyre, it seemed like a good opportunity to learn a new skill in a relatively stress-free setting. So there we have it. In one solid day of riding and less than 24 hours, we'd ridden some amazing routes across stunning landscapes, challenging ourselves along the way and overcoming whatever obstacles we encountered. This trip showed me that even between London and Portsmouth there is adventure out there, and even the smallest trips can be made into something you'll remember long down the line.